Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. I'm from the United Kingdom and I'm a former Royal Marines Commando. Today we've got an update on Ukraine. It is the 15th of November and after a few days off due to ill health, I am back. And to say I'm disappointed with the news is an understatement. The things that's happening right now is crazy. Poland is on the agenda. We're going to talk about that right now, guys. But before we do, please smash that like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you don't mind, it really does help me out. And yeah, we can get straight into the video. Troops, welcome. So, breaking news, guys. Russian missile hits Poland, killing 2 as Ukraine reports 85 strikes. So, it's alleged that a few of these strikes, well, Russia is alleging that they didn't intend to hit Poland, but there's that's quite a lengthy mistake by Russia if that is the case. Missiles had to have went through Ukraine and into Poland. These types of things don't really happen as mistakes as such, okay, guys? So as a result, Poland is up in the ante, putting troops close to the border. This is how World War III starts, troops. It's not looking good. I never thought I'd say it in that way on this channel, but it really isn't looking good at all. If Poland get involved, other countries will get involved, and it effectively means it's devastating. Let's get into this news.
Major Russian airstrikes across Ukrainian cities, including the capital, Kyiv. Ukrainian officials say at least 85 missiles have targeted the country's energy infrastructure. Ukraine is reporting widespread power outages now. This Russian barrage of airstrikes started, of course, after Ukraine took back the city of Kherson last week.
So we did see that, massive victory for Ukraine, taking back Kherson. Obviously, it hasn't came without its problems. If you read the news articles, pretty much the whole of Kherson has been mined. All right, there's landmines everywhere. Pretty much rendering many places useless, especially for those who want to get back into their homes and start trying to formulate a normal life. It's hard to do that when you've got mines there. It's the hidden enemy that can linger there for years and years. You don't know when they're going to strike. They just lie there dormant, waiting for the unlucky person to, stand on them. And it's a horrific way to fight wars, as far as I'm concerned, guys. But amidst all of that success, we are having other things happen now. Now, is this Russia up in the ante doing this type of thing to see how people will respond, to see how other countries will respond? I kind of suggest that it possibly is. They want to see just how far other countries will respond to these antics, without actually invading and counteracting these attacks themselves. But one thing is for sure, if these escalations, as I would like to say, continue, we are going to see NATO countries get involved, as far as I'm concerned, and that doesn't look good for anyone, okay? Even myself, I'm a former commando, not too long outside of the military myself. I'd probably get called up, There's probably loads of young, fit, fighting-aged males like myself would be called up if this escalated out of control into a potential World War III situation. So this is looking a lot more bleak, guys, okay? And it hits reality a little bit more when you're actually involved in it yourself, that's for sure. So let's go back to the deep state map. This has been updating accordingly over the past few days, and it's good to see that there's a lot of areas turning blue again, and the areas that were slowing down, we are seeing a little bit of traction back and forth, guys. But let's get into a short map study of what's going on in Ukraine. We're going to show you what's going on in Poland, and we're going to look at another interactive map which gives us live updates with news articles of what's happening and where they're happening, guys. It's going to be really interesting in this. But if we just have a quick map study, obviously you'll have seen on other channels that this region has been taken over again. Kherson, all right. It's like you say, it's fantastic news. Nonetheless, sorry. No matter which way you look at it, it's good that that area is now under Ukrainian occupation. However, there's news articles stating that many of these areas within Kherson Oblast is landmined, booby-trapped, so to speak, which is going to render many places useless, especially if you want to push troops forward into other areas. If you want to put and rehome the civilian populace, it's going to be hard. There's going to be an awful effort, humanitarian effort, after this war closes to be able to clear those streets of mines, depending on how much is actually laid on the streets there, guys. But word on the street states that there's quite a few being placed when the Russians decided to get the hell out of there, which is saying a lot about their tactics of war troops, okay? But we just go out here and have a look. Updated map actually says, and it was updated today, that the enemy is entrenched in Pavlika. Let's have a look at this place. So, where we are, I think it's just north of Mariupol. Yeah, we've got Mariupol there. So we've got Mariupol here. That's the aim, and we see that the enemy is entrenched in this region here. Obviously, it's going to be extremely hard to push towards Mariupol, but hopefully, if we zoom out a little bit, maybe this is the start of a bigger campaign similar to that of what was taking place in Kherson, okay? It's just it's a similar shape, actually, if you look at the characteristics of the layout of this area, all right? Mariupol is a very, very prominent area. It's a port town. Logistically speaking, it's very, very important. You can see a lot of main roads, main supply roads from Mariupol is able to support the rest of this region, okay? You've got main roads going all the way throughout, supplying the Russian troops on the ground. So if Ukraine can push towards this, seize Mariupol, they're going to be able to have massive tactical advantage within that area, guys. And hopefully we can see some traction a little soon from this area, okay? If they can, we envisage, a long drawn-out process again, taking over these little settlements and pushing on through to the main areas of occupation, which is Mariupol, Saratana, these areas, okay, Manhush. This is strategically really, really important. The difference being is it's going to be pretty difficult to do with this on the eastern flank of Mariupol. You are not just able to push in the same way as you did in Kherson, okay? You can't just push straight down and expect to filter that through and filter that progress, because what you've got on the right-hand side is the Russians, okay, who are going to be fighting from this direction. So there's a lot of battle strategy going to have to take place here. This is where I believe the hardest warfare and battle fighting, on the ground, front line is gonna take place. It's gonna be the hardest for both sides to take over land and defend land from. But just the dynamics of the way they're going to have to fight is going to be very different to what they've done so far. Okay, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen, if I'm honest with you, but I do know one thing. If they want to get any kind of traction and hit the main logistical nodes of the Russians within this area speaking, they're going to have to push for Mariupol somehow. Okay, push for that. I'm not too sure how they're going to do it again with the opposing side coming in this way. So you're going to have to delegate troops, Ukrainian troops, to effectively fight eastward somehow, pushing that flank off, as well as pushing downwards towards Mariupol, and then obviously fighting off aggressors to the west-hand side. So that's a massive undertaking, troops, to say the least, okay? One that there's going to be lots of losers on. These types of battles aren't going to be won overnight. It's going to be really, really hard strategically, but I believe Ukraine has the will and the ability to do it. There's one thing I'd like to mention, though. This here came as a massive success for Ukraine, okay? Taking over Kherson again. However, if we are seeing, and I'll zoom out here, areas such as Poland getting attacked now as a result of what's happened, within the success of that. If Russia's going to be targeting areas such as Poland, I'm not too sure why. It doesn't make any logical sense why they do that. Okay, so you can make of that as you want. What Russia is saying is that this missile has accidentally hit an area within Poland. I don't believe that to be true. I think that's intentional, and they want to test the waters to see what NATO is going to respond like. how they're going to respond. They're going to test, Poland's borders to see if they've got enough troops on the ground. Obviously, we've got the areas to the north occupied by the Russians as well. This is just another escalation as far as I'm concerned. Although they're losing in areas of Ukraine, they are showing intention to be able to push on through into the areas, which is worrying to say the least. Poland, is a beautiful place. I've been to Poland myself. Hopefully, this is, a one-time thing and it doesn't happen again. But it's interesting to see how the rest of the world is going to respond to this, because it does require a response. Okay, guys, Russia's going to deny it all day long, but we do need an investigation, and hopefully that information has came out very, very soon. Speaking of information, let's get into some of that information right now. Might make it a bit more clearer. Okay, so here we are to this news article I've just came across on the Kiev Independent. Now, it stated that 2 people were killed during an explosion in Przewodor, Poland. We'll have a look at that on the map after this article. Today, 15th of November, near the Ukrainian border. AP reported, citing an unnamed senior US intelligence official, that some of the missiles launched at Ukraine by Russia crossed into Poland. US Defense Department spokesperson Patrick Ryder said the US is aware of the press reports alleging that 2 Russian missiles have struck a location inside Poland near the Ukraine border, although it does not yet have information to corroborate the reports. CNN reported Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has called an urgent meeting of the Committee of the Council of Ministers for National Security and Defence Affairs. So it looks like things have escalated drastically since this point. Now, the area in question is an area called, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Przewodor. Now, let's have a look at this on the map to see what we can actually make of it. Troops. So as we can see, we've got the map in question that we always utilize. You can see Ukraine on the right hand side. If we just zoom in right on that border, okay, we can see that's Ukraine on the left. And if we zoom in a little bit further, this area is the area in question. So depending on, and I'm not giving anyone the benefit of the doubt, depending on, Russia's intent where they were sending these missiles in. I think there was over 70 launched today, and the past few days has been quite a few launched into Ukraine. If there were, scattering those missiles close to this border, is it possible that one of those missiles would have slid, into the border onto the other side and hit in Przewodor? Possibly. Okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt just for the hindsight of this conversation. Let's have a look at the actual measurements here to the border. So we're looking at about 13 kilometers now. Again, that is quite far for a mistake. Okay, in terms of launching the missiles. So it's I don't know. It's hardly likely, really, that they made a mistake. Is it a possibility? Of course it is. But what do I personally think? I don't think that this area here was hit by accident. I think that Russia's probably just testing the water a little bit, with the missiles. Maybe it's hitting these areas. For instance, I don't know if they did hit these areas, pepper potting them close to the border, and then, one of these things goes accidentally over the border into Poland, hoping to cause some form of reaction. They have got a reaction out of Poland, and they're going to await the response of that and see how they act. But there's one thing for sure: if this happens in the next few days and weeks, and they continue to do that without a response from Poland or NATO, Russia might think, we just extend into Poland potentially. That might sound crazy to some people, that might be a possibility, but we are dealing with someone who's actually invaded Ukraine, which in itself is crazy. Okay, troops, we can't trust anything that Putin is doing at this moment in time. So that is a bit of an isolated incident, but we'll know if it happens again in the coming weeks or days, if its intent was actually meant. Okay, troops. Excuse me. But in terms of updates, that's all we've got today, guys. I just want to say thank you for all the support. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on the current situation. So I don't mind telling you guys, excuse me, I was at the hospital the other day for a routine checkup with my wife, who's pregnant, and she had to get a blood tested for diabetes and stuff like that. It's routine procedure. Okay, it's normal practice, and she's fine. During that conversation, I was talking about a few things that happened to me in the military. Um, a few things medically. One thing happened. I'll not get too in depth about it, but let's just say I was involved in an accident in the jungle when I was in the jungle. Okay, and I took pretty ill. It was an isolated incident where something happened to me, and I was pretty ill. All right, it was if I didn't have my team around me, my section, and the corporal who was leading that section, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of that situation without elaborating too much. So that was the first time something happened to me in the military. Again, I might talk about that in a podcast if you want at another point. Second time it happened was when I was in the Middle East. Again, I'm not going to say where or what I was doing, but the same thing happened to me, or something similar rather. A medical problem with myself where, again, if I didn't have a good team around me, I probably wouldn't have gotten back from that situation as well. So, you think twice. Lucky in the third time, um, it never happened because I knew how to manage myself and my body at the time and understand the warning signs. Now, when I was in the hospital telling this to the nurse, they said, "Right, okay, let's test you for your blood sugars." They test my blood sugar, and it was through the roof. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not an overweight guy. I'm a bit muscly by nature. I do weights and stuff. And granted, I've got a few extra pounds on me that I don't need, but not obese by any stretch of the imagination. So we did that test. I was, a bit disappointed, but it made a lot of sense. What I've probably had in the jungle and what I've probably had in the Middle East was potentially a hypo. Okay, where you are lacking blood sugars for whatever reason, which again doesn't really make sense because I was at the peak of fitness in the military. So, but that's kind of what it felt like, a bit of a hypoglycemic seizure, so to speak. So it really kicked me into gear. I was thinking I wasn't feeling great. I was tired. I was unmotivated. I've been feeling like that for a long time. So getting more blood tests done this week to see what's going on. But whilst I'm waiting to do those tests, I've rapidly changed my diet. I'm doing a keto diet for, as long as it takes. And when I've gotten to a suitable weight, I'm going to change that into a carnivore diet, which is going to be pretty easy to do because keto is close to that. And the reason I'm doing that for is because I've done it for a small period of time before, and I felt all of the benefits from it. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm not slagging off vegetarians or anything like that. My wife's a vegetarian. I used to live pretty much like a vegetarian, and it's a great diet, but it just doesn't work for me. High protein, high fats, very, very low carbs, if not any carbs, work really well for me. I haven't had a carbohydrate for 2 days now, and I'm really, really doing okay. Okay, I've went through the keto flu, which is horrendous, by the way, but now I'm literally surviving off protein and fats, and I feel fantastic for it, guys. And I have to say, I haven't felt like this in a long, long time, so I'm going to continue to do it. If you see me losing loads of weight on the videos, don't worry, I'm all right. I'm just purposefully doing that to get my body down to a peak optimal performance so I can be healthy for my children and my wife, because I haven't been feeling great at all, and that blood sugar result, really did hit me between the legs, and it was a bit of a wake-up call. Okay, guys, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on my health, working on my diet. I am never going to go back there ever again with neglecting my body, and get myself in a good place. So that's that. That's why I've been off not doing videos. But if you've made it this far listening to me rabbit on about that, then I thank you for stopping by and supporting me. But this YouTube venture is more to me than people would understand. It really does. It really does mean the world to me. All right, to be doing this and support my family through this. Okay, troops. So thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. See ya.